All right, good morning, Web Summit. Good morning.
I got a little.
So here at Web Summit, if you're a speaker, they take incredible care of you. So over the past weeks, you get all these emails. It's incredibly well organized. But last week, I get this email and it's like all panicky. Bad news, warning, warning. It's like, oh man, what's going on? So I open it and it says, I'm so sorry, Wouter, but there are no more private jet slots available for you to arrive. That has really happened. So anyway, so yesterday I boarded on my very non-private jet flight, which I was going to take anyway. It's like 23B Ryanair, you know, probably most of you, hopefully. And I'm sitting there with a smile. I think life will be okay. And I'm sitting there, and then karma did its thing. I'm sitting next to a founder who was also going to Web Summit. And we started talking about hiring. And she told me that the entire summer they have been working really hard to find a new head of marketing for their company. They interviewed over 30 different candidates, and they finally found someone who started just a few weeks ago. And then she said, but it's a total disaster. The guy just does not know nothing about AI, and we are an AI-first company. The guy knows nothing. He doesn't know how to boost his own productivity. He doesn't know how to coach his team on AI, and I can kick myself for not kind of testing those skills during the interview process. Now, I am Wouter Durville, the founder of TestGorilla, and we hear these kind of stories over and over and over again, because the way we work is changing dramatically, right, with AI. The way we code, the way we sell, the way we market. But the way people are hiring, or most people, it's still in the 90s. I think I hear some echo. It's still in the freaking 90s. It's like navigating Lisbon with a 1995 route atlas for those of you old enough to know what that is. It's not working, right? So there's a big disconnect, and people are struggling to find the right talent that they need. Now, I want to get to know you a little bit better as well. So I have 3 quick questions, just with a raise of hands, just to see where you all stand on this. First question is it getting harder for you to find top talent? Just please raise your hand if that's the case. So I think, quickly, 50% or something. Next question I have for you, are you part of a team or leadership team that's talking a lot and making a big focus out of creating an AI-first organization? Hand up if that's a big topic at your company. Not as many as I thought. I'd say that was 40% maybe. And last question, are you struggling to consistently find AI-ready talent in recruitment? Hands up if that's a problem for you. So I see about a third, I guess. Interesting. Now, let's talk about this topic a bit more. First, I want to show you some data. I think it was just shared. The far majority of employers that we survey, and we run a huge survey every year for our state of skills-based hiring report, the far majority says that it's getting harder and harder to find the talent that they need. So there's a big mismatch between, mismatch between the job requirements and the talent they're finding. And the problem is, or the more interesting question is why is this the case? And the reason is that they're using old-fashioned tools. Now, the number one, of course, is the resume, or the CV, as we say here in Europe, right? So 87% of recruiters are saying these CVs are just failing us. They don't work. If you only use CVs to make a short list, you're not going to find the right talent, guaranteed. It's really not working. Another stat that's actually not here, but that I read last week in the Harvard Business Review, which I found striking and so telling, is that 93% of candidates for white-collar jobs that recently went through an interview process, 93% told that survey that they were not asked a single question about their AI skills or AI use. 93. So don't be surprised if you then hire those mismatches, right? Maybe one quick story from an experience from my own organization. At TestGorilla, we have a team of 165 people. And about, I would say, year and a half ago, we started to really kind of encourage people to use AI tools, right? I would like to say 3 years ago with ChatGPT, not true. Like about a year ago, we became quite serious about it. And our hope and idea at the time was, hey, if people really properly embrace these new tools, we can boost the productivity of the entire team, right? Of the entire organization, maybe 2x, right? Who knows what's possible? That's not what happened. what happened, at TestGorilla at least, is that the top 25% or so of our performers, they are embracing these tools. They're doing amazing stuff. They're learning, they're adapting, they're getting the full value out of it, and it's spectacular. It's really, really cool, actually. But what also happened is that the bottom 25 and maybe even more % of our team is struggling. They don't have the capacity, they don't have the capability to really get the most out of these AI tools. They struggle to learn, they struggle to adapt. And you get a lot of, and it sounds a bit harsh, but you get work slop, right? You have the AI slop on social media. I'm not sure if you're familiar with that, all the cheap images and movies. You now get the same thing with work. You get work slop. People who kind of, they use ChatGPT, whatever, and at first instance you're like, oh, that looks kind of good, and then you're like, this is really not good. And that's happening, and it's tough. Why am I saying that? It becomes ever more important because of that brutal difference between those groups to hire AI-first talent now if you want to do spectacular things tomorrow. Now the problem is, it got worse. It got with AI, it became ever more difficult to find that AI-first talent, right? Because all those CVs, and you get these days, if you're in recruiting, you get flooded with CVs and cover letters because it's so easy to produce them with AI. You get flooded with all these cover letters, and how do you pick up the people that are AI ready? You just don't know. So the situation got a lot worse actually because of AI. Now, I hear you thinking, so okay, great, but what's the solution, right? So what if AI can be part of the solution? What if with AI you can find software engineers who use co-pilots really, really well to make amazing code? If you can, with AI, find marketeers who co-create and produce amazing videos, images, copy with the help of AI. What if with AI you can find customer success people who embrace automation and still make sure there is always that human touch? We at TestGorilla believe that is possible. You can find those people with those skills, but you have to change your way of hiring. Now, my only notes, bang. So we have 5 pillars that we think you should focus on to identify those AI-first talents. The first one is AI fluency and literacy. It's like a language, right? You want people who are native or who are fluent in the AI language, who know what kind of different models there are out there for that kind of job, who know what to use when, where also the risks are. So very, very important to look for AI fluency and nativecy for every type of role. The second one is learning and digital agility. Like the example I gave at the beginning, if people are not open to learning, to say, hey, look, I've done this for 20 years, but hey, screw it, I'm just going to try something new, a new workflow, a new way of working. So you need people who have that ability to learn and be agile. And the third thing is you want system thinkers and problem solvers. So what I mean with that is that people who take a bit more of a holistic approach almost and look, hey, if I use this AI tool or multiple ones, what will be the impact on data, on process, on people, maybe on security? So you need to have that lens. This is a tough one, but you need those people to get great results with AI. The fourth one is you need people who use AI responsibly and ethically, right? I'm in the hiring business, incredibly important, but it's in many areas, many industries, this is such an important thing. So people need to be aware of the risks also, of privacy concerns, security concerns, all those kind of things. And the last one is you need to hire people that can collaborate and communicate with AI, so that human AI collaboration and communication is just so critical. That's another skill you can actually assess, right? You need people who can prompt well, who can set the right assumptions, who can describe what kind of output they need, right? And they get great results by AI. So with those 5 pillars, if you focus on those, you will hire AI-first talent. And I don't want to make it too commercial, but that's what we do. So that is what, with TestGorilla, is also what we're offering. So TestGorilla is a talent discovery platform. We offer a whole range of products that help you to spot those AI-first talents. So for example, with sourcing, we have a database of over 2 million people that have already been skills tested. So you can just source talent from that database. You have the CV and their skills test results to find the people with the right skills. We just launched, and I'm very excited about that one, conversational AI video interviews. This is unreal, you should really try it. Like, these are interviews with an avatar, so it looks like a human. It's a scripted interview, a science-backed interview made by our science and IP teams. and they run the interview for you. So all of a sudden you can invite all your candidates for a first interview, which is science-backed and honestly much better than a human interview. Another way to pick up these AI-first skills. And the last one I want to highlight is just our skills test library. We have over 350 different types of tests. So pick the tests that are that help you identify those AI-first skills, like the software skills or specific AI tools that you work with, and all those other kinds of things. So there are ways to identify AI-first talent if you want to build an AI-first organization. So thank you very much for listening to me. The one thing I want to give you as takeaway, please start hiring for AI-first talent now, because you will need them tomorrow to build an AI-first organization. Thank you so much for your time, and have an amazing Web Summit.